Today we are making the flying geese to go around the little stars. There are only 16 stars that need flying geese, so 16 times 2 is 32. So we need 32 flying geese, which isn't so horrible if we're doing them 4 at a time. Let me show you what I have in mind. I am not used to the camera setup here at all. So here is my little pattern for the setting flying geese. I used my little chart. I am making 4.5 by 2.5 flying geese. They will finish at 4 by 2 or 2 by 4, whatever, however you want to say the measurements. To make 4 at a time, I need 8 of the red because I am doing the reds, and they are 5 3/4 inch squares. Now my ruler is a 5-inch ruler. So the way I do that on my cutting mat, I put it at the edge and then I slide it over 3/4 of an inch. So there's 3/4 of a bare inch and then the 5 inches, and I use the lines on the mat to help me out. So you only need 8 of those. And I'm doing gold squares in the corners because on the final quilt layout, let me see if I can find it here, if I can get to it. On the final quilt layout, these are going to be gold. So let me show you the fabrics I have selected. I'm using this red. I used it in the center, so it'll be out and around all those center pieces. And I am using this gold. Now you're thinking, oh, that is very directional. But I did a little test. Let me grab a couple of these and show you. So if especially with 4 at a time flying geese, if you have a stripe, you're going to end up with flying geese that have stripes going 2 different directions. Watch the beauty of this. If I turn it, it really doesn't matter. And it gets sewn from corner to corner, so you will not be able to tell that it's turned. So this is a perfect pattern because it looks directional, but it's really not. So that is the gold that I am using, and I am also using those next week for the setting strips. The gold squares need to be 3 1/4. Now, I really kicked it around and thought about using a different color gold for these than the stripes, and that would work too. But it worked out because I was thinking about that direction, it being different directions. But this should be easy. Let's get to it. This one was actually more fun, and I will tell you why in a moment. On today's video, I am only making 1 of these for you. I will make the rest later. And each one of these yields 2, so I made 1 as a practice. I'm marking 4 squares because that's what I need for 1 flying goose. And this trim up ruler, it's the same one I used last time. But this time I'll be using the whole ruler, which makes it swanky and easier. It just barely fits from tip to tip on a 3 1/4 inch square. The diagonal of squares confounds me. I know that there's probably a formula out there somewhere for that, but it confounds me and I can't remember it. I need to find it and put it in my little cheat sheet book. I'm looking for, there it is, the square that has the corner to corner line. So I'm going to very carefully lay my 2 of my blocks there. And then I am going to use that corner to corner line. And, oh wait, I'm going to go get my cutter. So I line it up corner to corner on that little block. That's a 1/2 inch block. And I lop that off. And I am ready. Oh, excuse me. I had fried cabbage for lunch. It was delicious. But I was a little overzealous with the garlic and the onions. So maybe I should say I had fried cabbage, onions, and garlic for lunch, along with some mushrooms and some carrots and celery. I don't cook very often, but Dan he's in Pennsylvania for the moment. As I'm filming this, his dad was in the hospital with gallbladder surgery, and so I was on my own for lunch and actually had to cook food. So let me sew this. Now you see, remember to line it up. This is the same thing we did in the last video for the stars, except this is on a bigger scale because we need the goose to go around the stars. So let me come back to you in just a moment. Okay, here it is. Sewn both sides of the line. Scant 1/4 inch, not too scant, but scant enough for me. And I'm going to cut it apart to make my heart. So, oh, I cut that. Yeah, I did. I did trim so there's the heart. I'm going to go iron these, add my last part. It'll be fantastic. Okay. Let me take my other two. I'm going to pull this out of the way. Let me take my other 2 pieces and line them up. And get a little pin. I'm getting over my hatred of pins. I am. Slowly but surely. So remember, if you sew a scant 1/4, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But start right there, and whatever that is, please remember to sew the whole length the same. And remember, there's always extra there to trim away and make it perfect. Wait till you see how easy this is. Okay. I'm going to sew my seams on both sides of that line, and we will be done with this part. Would you like to watch? Okay. Okay, I have pressed the 4 flying geese, and if you look, it doesn't matter. It looks like it's all going the same direction. Isn't that fantastic? I dreamed about this. What kind of dream? What have I been eating for bedtime snacks? Oh my goodness. So I have my little quilt in the day ruler, and this one does 2 by 4 finished geese, which is 2.5 by 4.5. Not finished geese. Now you can use slicey dice, or you can use a regular ruler. Keep in mind you need 1/4 inch right here above the goose. That is the important thing. So because it is the size of the whole ruler this time and not just like the end, I can do the whole goose, all 4 sides at the same time. Isn't that fantastic? And there it is, the perfect little goose to go beside the stars. So now I am going to, let's take a look at a picture of the stars with the geese beside them. And I will be sewing those on later. Not today, not as part of this video. I'm going to just do some trimming and we'll get some of these done. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell if you are so inclined. Have a great day.